final runners passing under the GloHealth banner at the finish line there. Congratulations to all competitors. It's a tough event, cross country, and credit must go to all participants for getting out here today and making it the championships that it is. So now we are about to move on to the senior boys cross country championships, and in this race we have a home favourite in Jack O'Leary of Clongowes Wood College, and he will be competing against Kevin Mulcair, winner of the GloHealth Interclubs Championships in Rostrevor last Sunday. And I'm sure Jack will have plenty of home support on this course. I'm sure we won't be lacking in that area. And Mulcair has been in great form this year. He was also the leading Irish finisher at the European Cross Country Championships in Bulgaria in December, and where they both ran on the Irish. Both Kevin and Jack competed on the junior men's team, and I'm sure they'll be athletes to watch in the coming years in those championships. So the nerves must be setting in now for these senior boys competitors as they wait anxiously on the start line for the gun to go. And you can see some of the other university teams just warming up there, getting ready for the university men's race, which is shortly after the end of this race. 6,500 meters of running. It's a long enough distance at schools level. A lot of these athletes would be used to running 3,000 meters in the track. I know some athletes may try the 5,000 meters. That's in this summer's Irish Schools Championships. But 6,500 meters is a distance to be respected at this age. I think we're just about to get going here. And we're off. 2015's concluding schools cross country race. And the sun is coming out on this March afternoon with the temperatures increasing over the last few days, making for a very nice setting and great conditions for this senior boys race. And my co-commentator Ronan Duggan has reappeared.
I am excited. I've been outside, I've got some fresh air, been chatting to lots of people, and this is going to be great. Oh, I'm so excited. Are you excited, Brendan?
I'm on the edge of my seat.
Okay, well, we've got Jack O'Leary from Clongowes Wood College. He's going to be in the purple. You're on 8:20 indoors, only just the other day. You know what it's like to run indoors. You know what it's like to run 3,000 meters.
I was in the race.
You were in the race. Did you beat him?
I think so.
I believe you should have been ahead of him, yes, hopefully anyway. But
he was clipping my heels.
But Jack O'Leary, a fifth year here in Clongowes Wood College, he's in second place there. Our other major competitor in this one, our major leader and favourite, is Kevin Mulcair. Kevin Mulcair won the intermediates last year. He also won the intermediate 1,500 metre title, the intermediate 3,000 metre title. He also was first man home at the Europeans, a race in which Jack ran. So Kevin Mulcair is the overwhelming favourite for this one. But as we've seen throughout today, as
The
he found
12th, the
last
12th
race.
man, as they'd say, as the Seattle Seahawks fans would say.
The 12th man.
The 12th
The
man.
12th man. Who was the 12th man in this case?
The 12th man is a metaphor for many people in this case. Many Clongowes Wood College home fans.
And they've all got out in the course now, and what they normally do, I saw them during the week, major support for their rugby team, which unfortunately lost to our rugby team, but still massive, massive support. And they're going to be out in the course. They're going to be supporting Jack O'Leary. This is probably one of the very, very few occasions in Irish athletics where you're going to have massive support for one athlete on his home venue. So will we see an upset like we saw in the last race? Rona Pearce, who I was calling completely wrong. I was calling her Clodagh already. Rona Pearce got up and won that one. The athlete from Cork, formerly from Skerries, now representing a far superior county, and obviously that is doing quite well for her. She got up and won that senior girls race. Hope Saunders in second. Will we see an upset in this race, Brendan?
Well, I mean, you've got Kevin, who is the favourite, like you say. And then you have Jack, who's very much in the position of having all the home support. So it could be a toss-up, you know. It's 6,500 metres of running, so there's plenty of time for things to happen yet.
As well as that, you're going to have guys like Peter Lynch there. You can see in the black and white of St. Kieran's Kilkenny. They've featured throughout the day, and they look to be the favourites for the senior boys title. They have two athletes coming back into the fold that weren't at the Leinsters. I can see Sean Collins there of St. Flannan's giving a push to Andrew Coscoran there. He's a steeplechaser himself. He is Kevin Mulcair's teammate, so that's a major team battle there between St. Flannan's and St. Kieran's. Andrew Coscoran, who's around 3:47 there in the yellow and blue stripe. His teammate Aaron Hannon, now running for Providence College. He won this title last year. Andrew Coscoran was second. He was only third at the Leinster Championships. He is mercurial. He could do anything today. He could win it, or he could finish ninth. Not 10th, though. He won't finish 10th, but he might finish ninth.
Do you want to put your money on it?
I'm going to put my money on it. I'm going to say that Andrew Coscoran will finish somewhere in this race.
Don't know what odds you're going to get for that, Mr. Duggan.
So, as well as that, we have Jamie Fallon, who's leading this one in the green and red of... I can't even pronounce that word, but it's in Oranmore. Can you pronounce that?
Calas Nigtius.
Yeah, college. Yeah,
College. Yeah,
won't get any jobs in any in Irish schools anyway. The two of us, but he won the Connacht schools. He has been barely mentioned in the previews for this, but I'm sure he's enjoying that. He's going to come in under the radar and put it up to these other athletes.
Put the boot down.
And we could see that. We could see the likes of Jack O'Leary and Kevin Mulcair really, really work hard at the start of this race. Maybe worked almost too hard to try and beat each other, and then forget about the other athletes in the race.
Well, that's one thing that maybe from Jack O'Leary's perspective, he'd want to not get carried away at the start of the race. It's 6,500 metres of running. He'll have a lot of energy with the support here at the beginning of the race, and I think it would be smart for him to tuck in and just let some other people do the work at the early stages and use that energy in the later stages of the race.
And you can already see at the moment that is Jamie Fallon there in the lead. Kevin Mulcair with the yellow cap there. You can see him, I suppose you'd call it a beanie, I suppose you'd call it, going into the lead now at the moment. Jack O'Leary in third, nephew of Michael O'Leary of Ryanair fame, and then also Peter Lynch in fourth place in the black and white of Kilkenny. So will Kevin Mulcair be flying away from Jack O'Leary in this one? Haha, pun intended. Mark, did you enjoy that one? So Kevin Mulcair still leading this field with the yellow fluorescent cap. That'll make it easy for us commentators, Brendan.
Oh yeah, I'm all about that. I think it might also be a strategy for him. You know, once he decides to put the boot down, maybe the hat will come off and he'll slam it into the ground and take off into the distance.
Exactly, yeah, and we'll be distracted by the fluorescentness of said hat.
And the competitors might be distracted, which is probably the underlying motive.
Andrew Coscoran there in about fifth place. He can't be discounted. He's around 3:47 indoors for 1,500 metres, which is, you know, for a 6-year in school, that's pretty swift going. And he's got the track speed, especially on a flat course like today. He could feature near the end of the race, and he's not to be discounted. Joe Ryan, coach of Jack O'Leary, said that to me this morning. He said, don't discount Andrew Coscoran there in the yellow. He's in fifth place. He can be known to have some very, very good races and known to have some very, very bad races, but who knows what he'll turn up with today. So Mulcair still in the lead. Have you ever been in this position, Brendan, in that league group, the All-Ireland Schools cross country?
Breaking the wind for other athletes.
Yeah, as Jamie Fallon is doing now from Oranmore.
Yeah, I mean it's really at the early stages of the race still, because 6,500 metres of running. I think like it's really that last 1,500 metres where you need to be on point. You know, you need to be responsive. You need to know what's going on, and you need to have a little gear left to switch up and respond to a move, because all these athletes at this stage of the race are going to have energy. They're going to be able to pick up the pace. They're going to be able to do whatever they like, but it's going to be how they feel with 1,500 metres to go. That's going to be the deciding factor.
Yeah, and I mean, Kevin Mulcair, him being the massive favourite in this one, he might have to make the run in this race. I know in last week's interclubs he won it by quite a distance, but he only really left it until about a kilometre to go. He has the wheels, having won last year's 1,500 metres title at intermediate level at schools, but you know, having to wait around and kind of work with that group and kind of take the wind and be in that pack for this long, he might leave it a little bit too late. It's a lot of pressure on him. Everyone's going to wait on him to make the move.
Yeah, and I think that's something he could probably play around with a little bit. You know, he doesn't have to go by what he normally does all the time. He can mix it up, and maybe that'll throw off his opposition a little bit as well. So, and
just a shot here, Brendan. I'm spotting that fluorescent hat of Kevin Mulcair. He's gone into the lead now. He only has about maybe half a metre on the rest of the field, but Jack O'Leary has followed him perfectly, and this is the way we want to set this race up. We want to see a great battle here between Kevin Mulcair, the heavyweight favourite, against our Rocky Balboa, our hometown favourite, Jack O'Leary. This is Philadelphia. This is Clane.
I heard Las Vegas are going to fly him out for next week to have a head-to-head. I think they're just going to take everybody else out of the race and just leave Jack and kill Kevin.
And you can see straight on screen there, that is, I think that's Joe Ryan there, coach of Jack O'Leary. And he is roaring, he is shouting. He coaches Shane Fitzsimons as well, so he's a very, very talented coach, and he's got Jack O'Leary into great shape in second place there. But this race, it's not between these two men, it's between 80, 90 guys, and we have 6 of them here. We also have Paddy Robb there in 4th place from St. Malachy's Belfast. He's very, very heavily involved. Jamie Fallon's starting to lose a little bit of touch here in 5th place. Andrew Coskren's sitting back. Could he take advantage?
I think the move has just been made now by Kevin. He's certainly thrown in some sort of spurt there, and Jack was eager to respond, and he's now tucked in again behind Kevin. But I think the pressure is beginning to increase. The pot's beginning to boil a little bit now, I think.
And don't discount the likes of Peter Lynch there. He was second behind Jack Leary in the Leinsters, but it's a long time. It's 3 weeks from Leinster to All-Ireland, so anything can happen in those 3 weeks. You could have injuries, you could have sickness, you could have just an upturn in form over a couple of weeks. You just don't know on the day. So even though we're saying this race is between those two major favourites, the likes of Peter Lynch from St. Kieran's Kilkenny, who's leading his team as well, and you also got the likes of Andrew Coskren. Don't discount them either, as I see plenty of St. Aidan's lads coming in there. They'll be looking to get involved in this team title against Malachy's Belfast and St. Flavins of Ennis. They're the top 3 teams at the moment.
I think we're getting to that stage of the race where you'll have athletes getting tired, you'll have athletes who are still very fresh, and I think some athletes can maybe get a little carried away at this stage if they're not careful. I think it's a crucial part of the race to stay in control and remember your race plan.
What we're seeing here now at the moment is Kevin Mulcair knows his race plan. He wants to get to about 3,000 metres, which we're getting to now. We're getting up to that stage in around 2 miles in the next while, and he wants to maybe break away just before that, and we're seeing that now with Peter Lynch of St. Kieran's Kilkenny. He's making the run now. Jack O'Leary's fallen off a little bit, maybe just having a bit of a struggle mid-race, but that hometown support will surely revive him later on in the race.
Yeah, I think that's a very decisive move made by Kevin Mulcair, and I think Peter is behind doing a good job of staying in touch and not letting him out of his sight. So he might be one to watch in this second part of the race.
Yeah, I know, yeah, like only second at the Leinsters, but Jack obviously ran a very inspired race that day and is maybe struggling a little bit here at the moment. But it is a long race; they can come back over time. But Peter Lynch is kind of holding that gap as Kevin Mulcair has dispensed with that cap and is now running, I suppose, free and easy.
Well, I did say that earlier on in the race that he was going to do that.
That was an excellent
call. An excellent
call on your part. Yeah, I think that was the one call that could be made. So at the moment, yeah, we're looking at Mulcair first, Lynch second, O'Leary third, Jamie Fallon fourth, Andrew Coskren fifth, and Paddy Robb sixth. These are the top 6. Jack O'Leary's trying to get the better ground. He knows this course very, very well. He's gone off to the left of the screen there. Mulcair's gone around the corner. We're in around the halfway point now at the moment, so this could be a great finish. Mulcair may have gone a little bit too early, like our athlete Maria O'Sullivan earlier on.
Yeah, and there's a long way to go. I mean, it's a long way to run this wide open course, and when you're on your own and driving at the front of the race, it can take a lot of energy out of you. So,
and Peter Lynch is looking pretty good there, and Jack O'Leary seems to have kind of overcome that mid-race issue there, and he's actually starting to move in again towards Peter Lynch. Maybe Peter Lynch is just struggling slightly, but if Jack O'Leary can get up there, work with Peter Lynch, and they can try and reel in Kevin Mulcair, the man from Clare. That rhymed.
You did that on purpose, though.
Actually, while I was saying it, I was going, this is going to sound good now when it comes out, but beforehand I had no plan to say it.
Maybe a future career as a rapper. Don't think there's many rappers from West Cork.
No, I think we're at a maximum number of none. But you actually have a rap yourself, I believe. Myself and yourself are actually members of a very, very
a rap clique, one might say.
Yeah, 3D Tempo, I believe we were called.
Yeah, that was it back in the glory days.
In DCU,
DCU, yeah. So
unfortunately, didn't take off as a career for myself. But you have had a #1 hit with "Chillin' the Beans" in the Dunamare. Driving my bike because I got no car. For anyone who's ever been to Monte Carlo in Portugal, it's a Brendan O'Neill favourite.
It was actually commissioned by the Tourism Council of Monte Gordo, so that was something I didn't say at the time.
It is on YouTube. I don't know what you type in. Hyptonite.
You'd have to look fairly hard for that now at this stage.
I'll post it on Jump of the Gun later on for anyone who's interested. But Kevin Mulcair is still leading this one. There's about 60 metres of a gap back to our second place athlete Peter Lynch of St. Kieran's Kilkenny, and then in third place Jack O'Leary. To be honest, it's not looking too good for our second and third place athletes at the moment. Kevin Mulcair is moving spectacularly well, piston-like arms, just working his way through this field, and he's got the knowledge of and the confidence of pretty much not having lost a race besides the European Championships in the last maybe year or so. Well,
that does help when you go and make a bold move like he did. He knows that he's beaten the guys in this field before. He knows he's got on a good day that he can carry this move home to the finish. So that's what he's thinking right now. That's what he's reminding of himself as he kind of gets to the real hard, grueling stage of this 6,500 meter race. So great running by Kevin. He's definitely one to watch over the coming years. It'll be interesting to see whether he decides to stay in Ireland or go to the United States on a running scholarship. That's something he's probably thinking about as well, but I think he's got plenty of options when he's running like this.
And you're the kind of man you should give a call, as you've experienced both collegiate systems, both in Ireland and in America. So an athlete like this I think he'll excel wherever he goes. Yeah.
Well, you definitely. I mean, once you have the potential, he's no matter where you go, as long as you're committed to what you're doing, I think you can progress and get better and achieve your goals. So a lot of people will be looking forward to following Kevin's progress.
And Peter Lynch has just come in the shot there. He's struggling somewhat at the moment, and Jack O'Leary is definitely moving up towards him at this stage. These two are going to try and battle it out for second place, but I think at this stage, although I did call earlier out Maria O'Sullivan, I think at this stage we're going to see the winner is Kevin Mulcair, with Jamie Fallon in fourth, Andrew Coscoran in fifth, and Paddy Robb there in sixth place. I knew eventually we'd get to a race where I actually knew quite a lot of people. But and after this race we have the men's intervarsity. So we had the women's earlier on, won by Marianne O'Sullivan, followed by Maria O'Sullivan, followed by in third place Shauna Heaslip, who's only taken up the sport in the last maybe 12 months or so, which is fantastic. I know she won the Munster Novice title there before Christmas, so really, really fine athlete. But Kevin Mulcair is another fine athlete, and he is running away with this one, quite literally, as it is a running race.
You spotted that one there. Fair play to you, Ronan. And I think he has time to wave, to dance, to tumble somersaults his way to the finish at this stage. Yeah,
he certainly has. To be fair to him, he's dealt with the pre-race hype. I mean, even myself last night was building up this duel between Jack O'Leary and Kevin Mulcair, but in a duel not dissimilar to John Coughlin and Dave McCarthy in schools a couple of years ago. Kevin Mulcair has blown away the competition and is not worried in the slightest about Jack O'Leary or Peter Lynch. And we see the winner there now is Kevin Mulcair. Has this one, no issues. Will he put his hat back on, forewarned? That's the only question left.
I think he's going to have to look fairly hard to find that hat. I don't know where he threw it. Did he throw it into the bush?
Sorry, I thought they were actually coming into the finish there, but we're not. Peter Lynch and Jack O'Leary are actually working together now at the moment and trying to get their way up to Kevin Mulcair. It appeared we were coming into the finish, but even myself, I was looking at the clock thinking that can't be done.
Yeah,
That's pretty
that seems
swift.
a little quick, all right.
Andrew Coskin coming in there in fourth place, so he's obviously left Paddy Robb and Jamie Fallon behind. And we could see Coskin move up over this last 1500 metres. He does have that 3:47 speed in his legs, so you never know. Still 1500 metres to go. I was calling the race early there. All this excitement to the junior race earlier on is coming on.
Oh, he went from the 2,500 meters distance for the senior girls race, and gone all the way up to 6,500 meters for the boys. So it was a big jump, to be fair.
That is certainly something to look at in future years. That senior girls race. I mean, and the club events are running up to 5,000 meters. So I think it's a difficult one to judge. And I know Hope Saunders won the intermediate or the interclubs last week, but failed to win this week. Rona Pierce taking the title. So we can see Peter Lynch has put a brave move on there, and as the camera is panning over, you can see how far ahead Kevin Mulcair has actually gotten. He's worked very, very hard. The man from St. Flavins and Ennis, they've won many schools title over the year. You'll have remembered quite a few of them. Brian Markham, Liam Markham, Rory Chesser. You used to have a few battles with Rory Chesser, I'd say, back in the day, did you?
Yeah, Rory Chesser can't miss his big long stride when you're running behind him in a race.
So Kevin Mulcair is probably going to have his interclubs title. To add to that, he'll have an Irish schools title as well now, all within 6 days. That's a nice 6 days. What will he do tomorrow? On the seventh day, Kevin Mulcair rested. That's what they'll say.
I don't think Kevin Mulcair rests on Sundays. Something tells me.
Well, I suspect, yeah, he's getting in a nice long run on a Sunday, but he might have a day of rest to some degree tomorrow. Maybe a good roast dinner.
Good roast dinner. I think that's a reasonable way to celebrate the last 6 days.
And you can see Jack O'Leary there has been passed by Andrew Coskin. So I think at this stage, Jack O'Leary is probably out of this one in terms of the top three. He seems to be struggling somewhat. Peter Lynch is having an inspired run after only finishing second at the Leinster Schools. So I think maybe the pre-race hype is probably giving Peter Lynch a bit of a disservice there, considering he's now looking like he's going to get up to second place.
Well, it's like the emotional and mental energy that kind of surrounds the pre-race hype, and the pressure has to be dealt with very, very carefully and approached the right way by the athlete, and it's difficult at a young age. But I think Jack is running a very solid race, and he's definitely got a lot to come this summer on the track, given his 3,000 meter performance recent weeks. So
we can just see now Kevin Mulcair is coming in the shot, and you can see Peter Lynch is in second place, and Jamie Fallon, who we were not picking up on camera now, is working his way up to third place. Jack O'Leary's gone back to sixth place, Andrew Coskin in fourth, and Paddy Robb in fifth place. So Jack O'Leary is done and dusted in this one, but we could see a great battle between Peter Lynch, Jamie Fallon and Andrew Coskin for second place, because first place is very much wrapped up, unless I suppose this sand up here and turns out to be quicksand as he comes up here and he ends up inside in that quicksand. That's the only way I can see him losing this race. Will it happen? No, it has not. He's away and he's home.
Is that the last quicksand, is it?
That's the last quicksand, yeah.
Okay.
I think so, yeah, he is, yeah.
Or is there one more?
No, we're quicksand list.
We're quicksand list, all right. Oh, he's looking around now.
So I think he's just looking for his hat.
Yeah, that's probably it. Did somebody steal? Does that man steal his hat?
Looks like that, yeah.
I think that man stole his hat.
Daylight robbery, and we'll obviously be handing these tapes over to the Gardaí after this race.
Yeah, just watch. He's running to the left.
Yeah, that chap there.
Yeah.
I think
Orange
quite unfair considering Kevin Mulcair has put in quite an effort here. He may be too tired to retrieve said hat after the race. But coming into picture there is Peter Lynch of St. Kieran's Kilkenny. He looks like he's going to be leading St. Kieran's to quite a good run here in this team title. I know they were second in the junior boys earlier on. Jamie Fallon from Oranmore, who had a bit of a mid-race struggle there when Kevin Mulcair put the boot down, but he's worked his way back up to third place, which is a great run following on from his Connacht Schools win. You can see Stephen Macklin there in the white hat from Douglas Community School cheering on Andrew Coskin there in fourth place. Paddy Robb, St. Malachy's Belfast. I remember seeing him run over 1,500 metres in the schools a few years back. Fantastic run. And he's now in fifth place in this Irish schools. Jack O'Leary in sixth place. Kevin Mulcair looking fantastic here. Looks like he could keep running all day. Well,
he's used to the 8,000 metre races since the European Junior Cross Country would have been 8,000 metres. No, 6,000. And okay, so it's actually a little longer.
Slightly younger than he used to, but he's celebrating wildly here as he comes up the home straight. Don't think there's too much pressure on him now at the moment. He's running within himself, and we can see him come up to the finish here. Definitely a classic.
Celebrating. There you go.
And as we said,
it's a hard-earned win.
Mark Carroll was the last guy. As he did do a flip. He seems to have fallen.
Did he fall or do I think it was a flip.
But bit of a Robbie Keane special there. That's outrageous. We rarely see that in athletics, but could see.
It is good. It's good to see a bit of character like that, you know.
I'm sure his coach will give him a good talking to later on, though, risking injury like that. Like Lamana Lua, former Newcastle great. He used to hurt himself regularly doing the flips.
I think next week.
No Lamana Lua, but
maybe he'll try the Klinsman on the track in the summer, but that probably won't be as soft a landing as it was out there.
As Peter Lynch comes through there for second place, and obviously with the huge crowd, we can only barely see Jamie Fallon coming up there and finishing third for Oran Moore. Who will finish fourth? Will it be Coscoran or will it be Paddy Robb? Coscoran comes into shot there from Drogheda, and he has finished fourth in this race. Fifth, last time we checked, was Paddy Robb from St. Malachy's Belfast. St. Malachy's always a powerhouse. Remember when they used to do battle with Northmont over the years, and Jack O'Leary seems to have run out of it there, as you can barely see with the amount of spectators we have out in this course. You can barely see the athletes out there, but unfortunately one of the pre-race favourites, Jack O'Leary, struggling over the line here at the moment, which is sad to see in one way, but he's had a great season. He's come back and won the Leinster Schools. He's ran 8:20 and he's got to compete for a title in front of his home crowd, which is something that he'll always have in his armoury, I suppose. He might never have to deal with that kind of pre-race hype again.
Yeah, I mean it can be tough when there's a lot of pressure around you. But I think it was a solid run. I mean, I'm sure he would have hoped to do a bit better, but no doubt Jack will be back